Welcome to Math Taught by Sam. This is How to Solve Square Roots. You can skip ahead to any of the shown chapters if you're looking for a specific topic within this video. What is a square root? The symbol for a square root is shown. The square root of a number is the opposite of squaring it. Squaring a number basically just means multiplying it by itself. So, if you're finding the square root, you're finding what multiplied by itself equals a particular number. Example, when the square root of x equals y, it means that y squared equals x. You can have positive or negative square roots, but you cannot have the square root of a negative number. Let me explain. All square roots that are of a non-zero number have both a positive and negative answer, or root. For example, the square root of 9 is both 3 and negative 3, because 3 times 3 is 9, but negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. The reason you can't take the square root of a negative number is that if you square any non-zero number, it will be positive. Therefore, you cannot take the square root of a negative number. The square root of 0 is 0. Learn more in Lesson 2. Perfect squares. A perfect square is an integer that is the square of an integer, or an integer multiplied by itself. If x and y are integers, then x is a perfect square if y squared equals x. Example, perfect squares: 1 square of 1, 4 square of 2, 9 square of 3, etc. Solving square roots. Square root terminology. The symbol for a square root is called a radical. The number inside the radical is called a radicand. The full expression for a square root is called a radical expression. The answer of a radical expression is called a root. Basic perfect squares and their roots should be memorized. For solving for the roots of perfect squares, find the number that multiplied by itself equals the radicand. Remember, for non-zero numbers, there will be a positive and negative root. Example, the square root of the perfect square 16 is 4, negative 4. Solving the square roots of non-perfect squares with simplifying and estimating. Simplify by factoring out perfect squares. Example, square root of 50. 50 equals 25 times 2. 25 times 2. 2 equals 5 times 5 times 2. Take out pairs of same roots. Answer by simplifying 5 square roots of 2. Solve for a square root by estimating. Example, the square root of 50 is between the square root of 49, or 7, and the square root of 64, or 8. So you know the square root of 50 is between 7 and 8. To get more precise, 50 is closer to 49 than 64. So the square root of 50 is closer to 7 than 8. You can test out numbers close to the integer 7 and eventually come up with 7.07 squared, which is about 50. So the estimated square root of 50 is about 7.07. You can use a calculator to be exact. Review Lesson 2 for square roots on calculators, Lesson 3 for the truth about negative square roots, and Lesson 4 for complex square roots on calculators. Examples. Below are some example problems. You can pause the video if you would like to try and solve them. The answers will be shown shortly.